What's up, Docs Daily? Welcome into another episode of Docs Daily. It is Friday, January 16th. We are live in full effect, as always, Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern. Don't forget, check out the show Saturday. Our guy Griffin Murphy, fresh off vacation in Mexico. He's a changed man, folks. That's all I'll say. He'll be back again Saturday, 11 a.m.
Hold on a second. Did you say he's changed and he's a man?
I know he's a changed
I was going to make a transgender joke, but
I meant he's a changed
man. You got to be careful putting that in the same sentence, Lenny. Be careful.
I know. I should probably, in today's day and age, I have to.
You can't put them together.
I have to make sure I'm politically correct. Because I'm about as politically correct as they come. So as is this YouTube channel, I just want to say, and everybody is here. Welcome into Docs Daily. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. This show is based off the chat. You ask questions, and I know there's only a handful of games across the board, but you ask questions about games, we'll try to answer them to the best of our knowledge. Don't forget about free $60 account, new customers. There's a link in the description of the video, docsports.com/free60. You can get $60 on any of handicappers picks you want, towards anybody's handicapping picks you want. Premium picks over at the website. Split it up between these two guys. $60 free count in the description of the video. Don't forget about YouTube Premium. Become a member. You can start as little as $4.99 a month. You got to buy your own members only jacket. I just supply hockey winners. And I'm saying hockey winners because other sport right now this week can kick rocks down the street all day long. Hockey, though, stay strong. Docs Daily, we're back. What do you guys got? That's a hell of an intro, just so you know. I'm gonna take a breath. Take it away, Craig.
You're a magician.
Well, it's been. I mean, what do they say? You don't talk about Fight Club at Fight Club. So it's the same way I feel about hot streaks. Just say I've been heating up. I'm not even going to say the number. You can search it out and find it. But it's.
I'm in two.
So we need a good night. But
right past it.
But. If somebody else says it, it's okay. You can't just say it. But I will say this. I do like a 6-unit NBA play tonight. The 7 is not my lucky number. Like, I'm a craps player, so it kind of makes sense. I mean, every time I put – it's the one thing that's losing. 5, 6, 4, 3, 2. Everything else is winning. But the 7s, I've lost my 2 plays of both. One of the 2 for sure was definitely a 7. It's like, what are you – so tonight, in fact, it would have been 7. I made it 6. So that we can win. So NBA 6-unit tonight. I like it a lot. Make sure you get in on. But I really like the weekends card more. Robert and I talked a little bit. I think the football is great. I think the college football is a very interesting game. Usually this time of year, I have I think there's going to be stinker type of games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think any of these games have that potential. I think all of them are going to be relatively close, which should be good for us bettors. I mean, you can make an opinion and make some money, and I think we'll do that. Robert he told us yesterday, he gave us the tease yesterday, Robert. You remember this?
I do.
He's got. So I have been literally sitting on the edge of my seat like this close to the screen waiting for this. So Robert's got to tell me what it is.
I didn't catch the tease. First of all, thanks for filling in, both of you, for me yesterday. My daughter was in town, so I just kind of dipped out a little early, but I missed the tease. Robert, let's hear about it.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me a minute while I pull it up. I wasn't expecting to jump right into it, but basically, who is the best division in football?
Are you asking me?
Sure. Yeah, I'm asking you guys. Because this plays into it.
I think the NFC North. I mean, just what it felt like to me, NFC North this year.
I would say West, NFC West.
The NFC West, right?
The West would have been those two for sure.
Well, I mean, they got 3 teams in the
playoffs. Yeah. I thought the Packers were
the number 1 seed, like the NFC West. Okay, last year the best division in football was the NFC North. Remember, they got 3 teams into the playoffs, 3 teams with 11+ wins. In 2023, the best division in football was the AFC North. You remember that one year that Cleveland made the playoffs?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They had 3 teams. They were a wrecking crew. In 2022, it was the NFC East. All 4 teams finished above 500 that year. 3 teams went to the playoffs. 2021, NFC West again, 3 playoff teams. That's the year the Rams won the Super Bowl. 2020, it was the AFC North again with 3 playoff teams, including the Browns. So the last 6 years, The best division in football has sent 3 teams to the playoffs. Okay. What have all 6 of those divisions had in common?
They all have a Super Bowl winner.
Nope. Only one team won the Super Bowl. All these divisions sent all these teams to the playoffs. Only 2 of them made the Super Bowl. Only one of them won it. Best divisions in football. The answer is they all crossed over with the AFC South.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
They crossed over with the AFC South. My point in bringing this up is that everyone is looking like at the NFC West teams like they are some kind of juggernauts. Like this is fait accompli that like one of those that the Rams or Seattle are going to win the Super Bowl. That they're just the best teams far and away. They're not. Just like last year when it was Minnesota and Detroit, everyone's like, "Oh my God, Detroit is just a wagon."
Their cakewalk there, yeah.
Run away with it. The year before that with Baltimore when they won 15 games. Like these teams have played an exceptionally easy schedule. Okay, I'm not knocking them as teams; they're good teams. But moving forward in the playoffs, we've seen this movie before. Out of those 6 division winners, I didn't even keep going further past that. Only one of them won the Super Bowl from the division that sent 3 teams to the playoffs. So my point is just be very, very careful on overvaluing these teams moving forward in the playoffs.
I like that. I will say
By the way,
right there.
More reason to get really excited, Giants fans. Next year, the NFC East crosses over with the AFC.
Yeah. Woo.
So Philadelphia is going to bounce back. Washington's going to bounce back. Dallas will be in the mix. Like all those teams are going to win at least 8 games next year.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'd like to get your guys' opinion. I mean, this is the right move for the Giants, Harbaugh, right? I mean, how does anybody not like that?
Well, we got all off season to talk about what losers the Giants are and what.
How did they mess this up? Is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. That's true.
You can only touch coaches' hires. Coaches' hires you can only look back at. You know what I mean? Like, it's all in the moment you hire somebody. Obviously, you think you're making the right choice, and the fan base hopefully is behind you. But like, you really don't know until a couple years later, and you're like, I mean, John Harbaugh has a Hall of Fame resume already. So if he never wins another game, if he retired right now, he'd be a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. I think he's top 10 wins all time. 9th, I think maybe someone said, which I was like, I had to go.
About right. I mean, 19 years.
I feel like
almost all of them.
Michigan kind of maybe kicking themselves in the ass because they'd have maybe waited a little while.
They couldn't wait though.
I know they couldn't, but like he might have actually thought about that.
No chance.
No,
I don't know.
There's a 0.0% chance that A, he would step down to college after 19 years of the pro, and B, that he would follow his brother and just invite those comparisons for years and years and years. Like
because I think he's a way better coach than his brother.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say this. One's won an NFL championship, one's won a college football championship. So like only one has a chance to win both, though. So if somehow they get both, then you have to submit that. But I will say this. There's a lot of coaching hires for you guys that are out there. I wish my Bengals were actually a team that was making a coaching hire this year. I feel like we're just like status quo. Roll the ball back out. Hey, bring everybody back. Why not?
I have to ask, are either of you worried about Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
With the oblique injury, you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I am. I think that 49ers Seahawks game has a lot.
The problem is you don't know the truth. You know, if we really knew, like, okay, is this just a minor thing? And you know, he's like, I'm just going to sit out a few days, or is it like, I'm sitting out a few days because God, I hope.
No, I'm not worried necessarily. I mean, that
the backup is Luck. That's what I'm worried about.
I'm worried about Sam
and
Darnold.
Milrose, right?
What Robert just said. I'm worried about what Robert just said. I'm worried about Sam Darnold in the playoffs. He didn't mention anything about his injury. I'm glad you brought that up. No, but I'm worried about Sam Darnold.
I meant the injury, but I'm with you in lockstep, Lenny. We talked about that at yesterday, how we loved everything about Seattle. Okay, just go with me here. Sam Darnold is ruled out Sunday morning. What's that number? What does that number do?
It's pick'em.
No chance.
No.
You don't think?
No way.
They're
at least a 3-point favorite.
We've seen Drew Lock though.
Hold on. I'm not making a value judgment. I'm with you. Drew Lock is not an NFL caliber quarterback. I'm not saying who would you play, what would you do. I'm saying, what would the line adjust to? There's no way that it's going to drop 7 points. Sam Darnold isn't worth 7 points. I think maybe it drops to 3.5 or 3.
Some weird 4 number, 4.5, 5.
I don't know.
I mean, he's worth.
There's already a lot of money, which I'm a little shocked, but there's a lot of money on San Francisco already.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and you have this whole thing. Now you got all those numbers out there that you're, let's be honest, that now you have a 7 and all of a sudden he's not playing it. And if you're a book and you think the number should be 3 to 4, now you're like, holy shit, we've got this. How do we get money?
Wide open middle. We're going to open a wide open middle, but they're going to have to move it though.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
To
me, the question is, do you play Milrose or do you play Locke? Because if you said that team went with just we're going to run the ball with a running quarterback in that, I almost feel better than Drew Lock trying to pass the ball.
Yeah, I kind of agree. You know, I mentioned this yesterday. Like I went back and rewatched both of the meetings from the regular season, and Seattle moved the ball on the ground very, very well. Philadelphia moved the ball on the ground last week without much of a problem against them. So, I mean, one way or another, that's the ticket. I know I'm looking hard at those Charbonnet and those Kenneth Walker props. I think they're both going to go up. They run their backfield like the Rams run their backfield, where both guys eat. You know, the Bears, to a certain extent, do the same thing.
Yep.
They're following that model that Detroit used so successfully the last few years of getting both guys 12 plus touches because they're both extremely good. So it's not going to shock me if both, you know, whether Sam Darnold's healthy or not. I think for them to win, Walker and Charbonnet need, 30 touches between the two of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to eat. I like that the way some NFL teams have geared towards that. Now, I don't want to say it's a run first offense, but it's a two-headed monster in the running backfield. It has to become a two-headed monster. The game has elevated to that kind of a position.
Well, they just devalued running back. They've devalued great running backs to an extent where it's like, dude, if we have 2, we never have to pay anybody.
But the game isn't there's longer seasons.
I mean, imagine if we just added more wide receivers. So that you didn't have to pay wide receivers. You'd be like, you know what? There's a million great wide receivers in college. They're good. Let's, instead of paying these guys $37 million, and like if they go down the street, that's what they've done with running.
I think it has much less to do with that and much more to do with just the fact of keeping guys fresh, avoiding injuries, and I'm sure the analytics show that running backs that get over 200 carries, their production drops, or within a game. Running backs, on carries 0 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15 do this. And then after carry 15, production drops down, stuff like that. So I think it's more about that. And when you have guys with different styles like Gibbs and Montgomery did, like Monungai and DeAndre Swift, they're 2 very different runners. So I think it has more to do with the strategy stuff than
I like that.
The total hasn't really moved, right? The total wasn't it same about 45?
No, and doesn't it seem high?
It seemed high already, and then if you told me that Darnold might be limited or might not, although maybe they're thinking pick sixes if they go away from Darnold.
Right. I mean, the Houston and New England total seems high. I thought that would be in the high 30s. I mean, if you watched both of those games last week, you watch both of the defenses, I don't understand why that would be high scoring. And the same thing with the Seattle San Francisco. Both of those games were low scoring, 30 points and 16 points in the 2 meetings this year. So why is that in the mid 40s? If Griffin Murphy were here, if Admiral Akbar Murphy was here, he'd be screaming about the trap lines.
Reverse flip. Trap, reverse flip, trap, rub it down. Oh no, all that stuff.
But again, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. I got to tell you that's the vibe I'm getting on both of these numbers as well.
I saw someone ask the other day in a chat. I don't know if it was here or it was when I was watching you guys or whatever. The over under this weekend, one of the books has it, of away teams winning outright, no spread, was 2.5.
That's ridiculous.
I take the
under. I take the under.
Can't be right. But last weekend it was 3.5, and it hit, I believe, right?
You know what? I'm not even sure.
Rams, Bills, Niners, and the Texans. 4 road teams won outright.
And I think that might be why it's higher this week, because we saw it all last week and people, kind of just – I think a lot of people are all over the – I've seen a lot of people say Texans Super Bowl, Texans Super Bowl, Texans Super Bowl because they were so freaking – I'm like, dude, they played Pittsburgh. Like Mike Tomlin was literally out there.
It was 7-6. Like that game was not – the final score says it was a blowout. That game was not a blowout. Like that was very much a game early in the fourth quarter.
Me and Craig did a halftime show during that game. We did a live little thing, and I'm like, what do we like? I don't want to bet this game at all. Like,
yeah.
I don't want.
I had the under, and I'm like, I don't feel
good about it.
I don't feel good about it.
I felt great. It ended up. I mean, although they got that pick or the pick six late, it was like, dude, they give him one more pick six. So
I said he'd throw one. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I also took him to have 1+ rushing yard. Just one.
Like the Texans are the least sexy offense left.
I know. I lost on that too.
Like if the Texans had, I still don't understand what happened to CJ Stroud from his rookie year. That guy is long gone. Like
tape. That's what happened. Tape happens, and defenses have tape on them, and they could study him in an NFL caliber offense.
Lenny, he was putting out
the
dimes,
same reason. The kid from Washington. I mean, I know he's hurt this year. He's really banged up. The guy from Commanders. I can't think of his Jalen Daniels.
Jalen Daniels. Yeah.
I don't foresee him having a standout year next year. Like he's going to go right back to his rookie form.
If he gets healthy,
think that happens.
I think he will.
I mean, both got like again, like with CJ Stroud. Okay, it's never just one thing, right? Like his rookie year, he superseded expectations.
Right.
They played that last place schedule. They were a 3-win team when he got there, so he had an easier schedule. He's in the AFC South. They changed offensive coordinators midway through last season. He's been hurt. He was hurt a lot last year. He got hurt again this year. His receiver room has been super banged up, like Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs went down last year. Who is the other guy that their third
Tank
Dell? Yeah.
Like, there's a guy you just love.
That dude was unbelievable.
Look at the offensive line turnover that they've had over the last couple of years. Like they changed over, I think, like 4 out of their 5 starting offensive linemen from last year to this year left. Like my understanding is that there were problems. Like those guys didn't like each other actively. Yeah. So it's been a lot of things. It's been
actually had a great run game too.
There just hasn't been a lot of consistency in. He hasn't had the same receivers, hasn't had the same offensive line, hasn't had the same offensive coordinator. So there just hasn't been
accuracy is the one thing that I always say. Like good quarterbacks are accurate. Like that's the really. I mean, it's the fine line. You know what I mean? Like if you're accurate, that is like. You can, I mean, Tom Brady, like he did it with ridiculous to bad receivers sometimes. It's just like the dude was just on point. He did that his rookie year. Since then, it has been kind of all over the place. Now, pressure does have a little to do with that, but it's like, to me, my Ohio State hating mind, I'm like, that's just what happens. You go to Ohio State.
They don't produce a lot of good quarterbacks. I mean,
they have zero Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Yeah, right.
Zero.
That's not.
If you would have said a team,
Alabama, Florida Gators, not producing.
Remember when Justin Fields was going to be the first? He was going to be the one. I think.
Well, they've had several, and what was the guy that won the championship and won the Heisman when Ginn was there? What was number 10?
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
I mean, they've had Heisman winners. It's just what it is. But I will say this. He has the talent. And if you said this week he like puts them on his shoulders on a couple big plays when they need it, I wouldn't be shocked. It's just it's the one question. If Houston had a proven quarterback, if Josh Allen was on Houston, they would be the odds-on favorite, ridiculous favorite to win the Super Bowl.
I'm going to go back to something that you said to start this, by the way. I actually disagree with you. I do not think that the 4 games are going to be close. I think it's going to be. I think 2 of the games are going to be blowouts. One of them is going to come down to the last minute. One of them will be close, but will end up being like an 8 or 10 point game. Look, it's the NFL, right? So like once you gain certainty about something, that's when everything goes crazy. So last week, all the road teams won. Yeah. All the games were close coming down to the final seconds. So obviously that's what it's going to be this week, right? Like, no, two of these games are going to be blowouts. That's just like you go back and look at the history of the divisional round. that's usually what happens. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I know what those two games are,
Right.
or even
I
like
think
what
one
I
of
think
them
they're
will.
going to be. But I'm just saying, like Monday morning, 2 of the games will have been bad games and been blowouts, and only one of them will have been like come down to the last 4 minute type of game.
What's the team you trust the most of all the teams this week? Just, because to me, every team has a question. They either have young quarterback play or unproven in the playoffs. Let's be honest. Some of these teams just haven't been there. Newer teams. What do we have? Three quarterbacks that are second year, right?
Of them,
we have three quarterbacks at home that are all second year players.
For me,
crazy.
When it comes to who do you trust the most, I'm going to take that question and reframe it into what team do I trust the most to be themselves, to show up and play at their level, who we know they are, what we've seen, right?
Okay.
And that's Buffalo. Buffalo is the team that I'm not worried about them laying an egg.
Because they have they've been there, done that.
Okay.
Right.
So,
they played really well.
I still don't know if it's good enough. That's the question there. I don't know if it's good enough.
I completely agree with you. But when I'm looking at these teams, who do I have the most faith in showing up and playing their game? To your point, is that good enough? Is Denver better than we think? All those are separate questions. But just I would be most stunned if Buffalo just laid an egg. If they're the team that got blown out by 3 or 4 touchdowns. I don't see that happening. Doesn't mean it can't. We've seen Denver do that in the postseason to teams before. But in terms of everybody else, there's a lot more questions than answers. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Do you know who my second team is here in terms of who I trust to just show up
Patriots.
and be who they are? No,
mine's the Patriots.
It's Chicago. For me, it's Chicago.
Yeah, you just kind of expect to get what you expect from them.
Right. At this point, I feel like we have a pretty good grasp of who they are and what they're going to be. Now, again, is that good enough? Probably not. Okay. If the Rams play their best game, they're just better than Chicago. There's a lot of check marks in there.
Before last week, don't you think it would have been the Rams? Before last week, I would have been like, heading in this week, I would have felt like the Rams. I would have felt at least that they're the best team, and because they have it kind of checked the boxes. But after last week, I don't know. But
they've been taking on water for like 6 weeks. Like they're kind of like Green Bay, where they came into the playoffs not playing their best football. I mean, remember he had to play his starters in week 18 against Arizona. Because they had not been playing well. Yeah. And they didn't play well in the first half against Arizona. Like that was a 20-16 game late in the third quarter.
I don't know what's wrong with the defense.
It's bad. It's bad. They're not
They're not injured. Like a lot of these teams, you're like, okay, at this point in the year, it's injuries. No, like these guys they're
all super young. They're all super young.
That's tired.
It's just I mean. We see teams progress. Like I always say, it's like we talked about Indiana or Nebraska basketball yesterday, where it's like, dude, they're playing so great right now. It's like, dude, you as a coach, that you want to be playing great at the end of the year. Not that you don't want to play good early, but you're like, damn, can we keep this going for freaking 5-6 months? I almost feel the same way about the Rams, where it's like their defense played great for like 12 weeks, and then all of a sudden, the last 6 or 7, it's like, oh man, what the freak happened to this defense?
Since week 13 against Carolina, and we're not talking about a lot of juggernaut offenses here. Carolina twice, Arizona twice, Atlanta. They've given up 31, 17, 34, 38, 27, 20, 31 points. Okay, they've only held 2 teams below 27 points over the last 7 weeks. Okay, and that was Arizona twice. And they gave up 20 and 17 points. So it's not even like they held them to like 6 and 10, stuff like that. Like their defense isn't good. They're not good. So this whole game is incumbent on Matt Stafford taking care of the ball and not turning it over. He was shaky as hell last week against Carolina. Like he should have had at least 2 more turnovers than they did, and they barely escaped that game. So I'm looking at this Chicago Rams game. I know it's going to be cold. I know the real feel is below 0, but I'm still seeing points in this game. Like the Rams are not going to stop Chicago's offense. They're not.
I think that's why I like this year's playoffs. One, there's just so much unproven. Like there's so much unproven. Other than Josh Allen, like dude, he's going to put that team on his back. Now, is it good enough? I still don't know. Like that game, I'm just like staying the hell away from. But like that dude, he's going to put this team on his back, and I hope everybody does. Everybody hopes that Buffalo gets to the Super Bowl, the NFL especially. I think at this point of those teams. But after that, I'm like, I have really no clue. That's why my 7-unit best bet is a total this week. I was just like, that just felt a much safer play this week, where I'm not betting on one team that has to, like I'm betting that this game is going to go over.
The more I think about Buffalo, the more I like Buffalo.
Yeah,
they have played and beaten good teams in big games over the last few years. Like they're not scared of Denver. Okay. No. And when you think about what it has taken to knock Buffalo out of the playoffs the last few years, it's taken special. Okay. And is Denver and Bo Nix capable of special to beat?
Plus, what do you think about that? I can't get the one Denver game I can't get out of my mind is the Jacksonville game. Because it was never close. Like, right. I mean, never close. And it meant a lot because at that point, you were looking like, dude, we might need to win out to have home field and the bye. And so it wasn't like they were like, oh, we don't need this. And it was never close. Now, Jacksonville at that point was playing really, really good football. I get it. But it's still like, dude, is that game out of their system? Is that game still exist?
The week before that, they played Green Bay at home too. And Green Bay was taking it to them. They had a double-digit lead like midway through the third quarter in that game. And again, Green Bay was beat up. Green Bay wasn't playing well down the stretch. We talked about this yesterday. Oh, and I was wrong. I said Denver beat 3 playoff teams. They beat 4. Green Bay was the other one, but that took a comeback. But the others were Houston when C.J. Stroud went out, the Chargers in Week 18 when they were resting their starters, and at Philadelphia. So, again, when we're looking at this, I got a lot more questions about Denver than I do about Buffalo. Buffalo beat this team 31-7 last year in the playoffs. Now, Bo Nix was a rookie making his first road playoff start. That game was in Buffalo. Understand change of venue. But that game wasn't close. So, say what you want about changing the venue and Bo Nix is different this year, yada, yada, yada. Is he good enough to beat Josh Allen and a veteran Bills team? I don't know.
I know we got to get to college basketball, Lenny. You got a group of games that we did last week. Everybody liked that. But one last question. If Denver wins, okay, just the what ifs, no matter who they face the following week, they're going to be what? 4 to 6, 3, you think?
3.5, yeah. Yeah,
they'll be. I mean, because it's a pick 'em. Basically, it's a pick 'em this week. Is my point.
I think if it's New England, they'll be over 4. Okay, but not much over
3.5 to 4.
They'll be around that. If it is Houston, then they're only going to be a 3-point favorite. That was a close game the first time. Played without C.J. Stroud. If Houston wins, I'm going to imagine their defense just like snuffs the life out of New England. Denver hasn't exactly been rolling people to get their wins anyway. So I think that's a flat 3. So, yeah, I think it's 3.
Because to me, that was what I thought. And that tells me something about this game, that it's basically a pick 'em game. Like, you know what I mean? Like that tells you how both we think and then obviously Vegas as well. So, all right, Lenny, you do your thing, Lenny. Let's knock out some what did we do last week? 6 or 8?
Can we talk about any games that happened today? Can we do that?
College
basketball.
I like any 3 picks you like today.
I like Providence. I didn't use Providence because I don't know about Jason Edwards. He got hurt last game. The details were a little bit sketchy. I think he plays, like he's not out for weeks. But I like Providence. They're 1-5 in their last 6 games, but they've played a bunch of very close.
They did beat St. John's at St. John's too.
They beat St. John's. They only lost to Connecticut by 5. They lost to Butler like 104 to 100 or something like that. They were close with Seton Hall, close with Villanova. Like they've been close. Creighton's been the antithesis where they've won a bunch of games. They've won a bunch of games close. So I just think Providence is due here. That's not usually a great reason to bet on someone. I can tell you, but just looking at this number, if Jason Edwards plays, I kind of like them. I liked Ohio at 4.5. I didn't love them at 5.5. I think that game could be a blowout. Ball State is
because that line opened at 4 too, so it
3.5.
Yeah, it flew up. Yeah. So like that, and we talked about them last week. They're like a team that wins every game by a bucket.
Right.
I think Toledo's a live dog tonight in the MAC against Kent
Seems
State.
like it, but Kent State's a tough place to play. Like,
Yeah, that's a
tough.
big. That's
I
a big rivalry.
I didn't go crazy. I took all the points I could get, but I think 5.
I think the most interesting game is Kansas. Obviously, they come off the win against Iowa State. It's like, dude, they've not been great a lot this year. And then all of a sudden, you crush Iowa State. And then, dude, how do you get back up? To face a team that's not playing great. Let's be honest, Baylor's 1-3 in their last 4. So, and this means a lot to Baylor. Anytime you play Kansas, you go into that venue, it means a ton. And Baylor's beat them, I think, 3 times in a row now.
They beat them the last 2 times. The home team is 9-0 straight up. The home team has won 9 straight and is 7-2 against the spread. I'm with you. Like, this number should have opened around 8.5. Instead, I was seeing 6.5s. Yesterday. So that number was a little light. I do think it's a higher scoring game. I think both teams are going to get up and down the court, but you're right. That's a question about Kansas. Have they turned the corner, or was that just a blip? Was that,
because if they lost,
I know why they did that. I know 100% why they did that. Okay. It's because I didn't bet on them. I bet on them the 3 games before that. And
what if they won?
Spread all 3 games. I finally didn't cover because I'm like, I'm not betting against Iowa State. So Iowa State's just been killing them. There you go. It was just, who was it? Towson won yesterday too. Same thing. I bet on Towson 4 straight games. They haven't covered the spread 4 straight games. I didn't bet on them yesterday. They easily covered. So,
and FYI, we had the investigation or the thing come out. Towson was one of the teams that was officiating points. So that was kind of funny that they won yesterday. What would have happened, Robert? This is how I think as a handicapper a lot. If Kansas had lost to Iowa State, this line would have been 3.5, 4.5. So to me, it's like, because they won and Iowa State kind of had a little letdown there. Now you have to lay all these extra points. Now you could be right. Kansas could just be like, oh, we found something, and they blow them out. But it's like, I don't believe in that, because to me, that's not usually how it works at this point of the season. It's just a grind. And especially in the Big 12, it's a grind. So I don't love it. Like, that's not one of my top plays. But FYI. Okay. Lenny, you do you, Lenny. Oh, NBA tonight.
NBA?
Be careful in the NBA. Be careful in the NBA.
I don't have. I think I have one play, and it's a total, and I can't remember what game, to be honest with you. It's in. That's how little
I like Toronto a little bit, but be careful. There's tons of injuries in almost all these games tonight.
Oh, the Pacers.
I want to see how that Cleveland-Philadelphia game goes. Yeah, they just played on Wednesday, and Cleveland demolished them 133-107. It's rare that you see 2 teams play back-to-back in the same location like this.
With the day.
It's a little crazy, and the number, everything about the number is saying Philly. It's going Philly's way. They were the same spread, revenge, rebound, bounce back, whatever you want to say it. I'm not jumping on Philadelphia. Maybe they win. Okay, maybe they don't get swept at home. But I kind of like Cleveland over these next few weeks. I think they're healthy. When they have their 4 starting studs playing,
but they don't
even
tonight,
better
FYI.
Once they get Max Strus.
Garland's out tonight, FYI.
Well, there you go. There you go.
There you go.
Garland and Merrill.
Well, maybe. But when they have those 4 guys playing together, it's easy to forget how good they were last year. Like, they were by far and away the best team in the East and one of the best teams in the NBA. So if they can just get those 4 guys on the court together moving forward, a lot of value with Cleveland.
It sounds similar to the injury that he came back from too, the toe or foot injury for sure. And then Merrill's out tonight as well. This is my top play tonight, FYI. So is in this game. So I'm not going to say a whole lot more. But Garland and Merrill out tonight, and you had the day off. So it's like, usually you have a day off if you're just nicked up a little bit. You're like, okay, they'll be back. But they're doing it with caution because he had, remember, the foot in the playoffs where
that's the thing. They just can't stay healthy. If they can just get their full team.
That's been the NBA this year. Every freaking team feels like they have somebody that's injured every game. I don't understand it.
I think if Cleveland gets 100% healthy, if they get all those guys healthy and they get Max Strus back, I think that they're the best team in the East, not Detroit.
That's fair.
I think they're the most talented. Like if you said, hey, I got to bet my life, I'm going to die if this doesn't win. Yeah. If healthy, I'm playing them. But the problem is that's just not the way.
They're not healthy. Right. Yeah.
And it's like, even when guys play, you really don't know. If these guys have been in and out so much, you're like, dude, are they really healthy? Or are they just like working themselves back into shape and back into health? And Detroit, we don't have to worry about that. These guys are healthy. I mean, at least they haven't missed it.
Don't say this. Knock on wood. Be careful in the NHL, like they said about the NBA. Just be careful.
Well, tonight there's only there's 7 college basketball games, 5
Yeah.
NHL and like 6 NBA or something. So it's like these are the days you got to be careful, because just because there's only this many doesn't mean you need to go bet it like you do Saturday tomorrow where there's all these options. But control chaos always, every day in betting.
Control chaos.
Limit
5
your
NHL games. I got 6 plays.
Are the Red Wings gonna run away with it tonight?
I like them in regulation.
Okay.
Yeah, I like them in regulation. I like that Florida Carolina game draw. I've been hitting. I hit 2 on Tuesday. I lost 2 on Wednesday.
Game right here, right? We're gonna cover this game.
One of the
Yeah, we're
ones
gonna cover this here in a second here.
Good.
On the list. Got a number for you.
Be careful that Avalanche Nashville game. Okay,
That's Nashville. I think Nashville's going to keep it within 1. I like.
Don't get carried away. I don't know, but I'm just saying. And that Kings Duck game that has draw.
That's crazy.
All over that some bitch. They should have just put the line at draw
like that.
Just say we're playing overtime only.
Overtime only.
We just start
overtime only line.
Save everybody injury risk. Let's just play overtime. First one to score wins.
That game just is ugly. It's just ugly. Neither team is. They're not. It's not a good game.
I was like, okay,
I like the Red Wings tonight, but I don't hate that draw.
Ivy League tonight, Robert. I was like, where's the Ivy League? Why aren't they playing tonight?
No kidding. Yep.
I thought the Big Ten was taking over Friday.
Cornell. Who the hell does Cornell play? Cornell plays somebody tomorrow. Kind of a big game in the Ivy League. Like 2.
I just don't understand the whole scheduling anymore.
Cornell plays Yale.
Yeah,
we used to Big Monday. Used to be what? Big 12 and
I love Ivy League basketball.
Big 12 and Big
East, right? And Big East. Yeah.
It would be like you'd get the
Big
best.
10. Big 10 was Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah. It's just like now. There's no
Monday,
rhyme or
Wednesday.
reason to what. It's all because of TV. It's all because of TV.
Money.
All right,
Lenny,
you go.
Let's do this college basketball thing. We got 10 college basketball. Let me get this started right. We got 10 college basketball videos here for Saturday, January 17th. We're going to go over 10 top college basketball plays that these guys like. Keep in mind, little early lines here, subject to change. The lines are. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Get a free $60 account. The link is in the description of the video. Use that $60 on any of these guys' premium handicapping picks you so desire, including their Saturday card in college basketball, their top plays, best bets, stuff like that. These are going to be some leans, likes, the stuff that they like already on some college basketball. So let's get this rolling. I'm going to start with you, Robert Ferringo. Iowa plus 1.5 at Indiana. Breakdown thoughts?
Know that these are not top 25 games. So these are like under the radar games. And these are my projected spread. So take a look at them. If they're close and they're good, which they're going to be, just remember who they came from.
Subject to change.
Okay. I like Indiana in this game. Like I don't think Iowa or Indiana are particularly good. They're both really excited this year because they both got new head coaches. And it's just a new chapter for both of them. There's been some excitement in both of these programs, but I don't know how good either of these teams actually are. I see mid-pack kind of Big Ten teams. The one thing that both of these teams have in common, they're both much better at home than they are on the road. Iowa's coming off a tough game. They played pretty well at Purdue, covered a big number there. Back-to-back road games, I don't think they're going to show up twice. Indiana has lost to Iowa 5 of the last 6 meetings. I don't think that they're going to lose to them again. So I definitely like Indiana here.
There you go. St. Mary is about to pick a -1, say, at St. Clara. Craig Trapp, what are your thoughts?
Oh,
I'm hitting them with the
wall
ones.
I think we talked about Santa Clara last week, and I said this team has been literally. They got burned in my head. First game I bet this year, I bet Xavier against Santa Clara. Santa Clara, I mean, it was never close. They were up like basically double digits the whole game. So the whole time I'm thinking Santa Clara is going to be good. Santa Clara is going to be good. So you know what that does to you? Like every time you see them on the board, you're like, ooh, and that's just that. I try with not to watch a lot of games early in the year because you get this. Just one game can affect your whole season. That's what it has done for me. Now, St. Mary's is really good, but most of those really good. They're 11-0 at home. It's like they are unbelievable at home. I actually think you do play Santa Clara here. As much as I say they burst in my head, I still think they're the play. I don't think this is the St. Mary's team of the last 2 years where I thought they could win a game, maybe even 2 in the tournament. They just grind you to death. I just don't think they quite have that level this year. Now, that still might be it's better than Santa Clara, but I'm going to take a bet that we can get Santa Clara to cover and maybe even win this game.
There you go. Belmont -3.5 at Southern Illinois, Robert.
Yeah, big game in the Missouri Valley. This line is just going to be begging you to take Belmont. They're number 2 in the league behind Murray State right now. And Casey Alexander knows what he's doing. You want to talk about a guy who deserves a look from a high major school. Casey Alexander is absolutely it. Now, the Southern Illinois team, they remind me, Scott Nagy is a coach there. They play more like the late 90s, early 2000s Southern Illinois teams where it's defense, it's scrappy, it's always a rock fight, especially in their home gym. That being said, I'm actually going to take Belmont here. They've been a little shaky on the road in conference play, but look, sometimes it's hip to be square. Like they lost to Indiana State. They almost lost at Drake, but they have some really nice road wins this year. They won at Charleston. They won at Middle Tennessee, at UC Irvine, who's a really good program. They won at Northern Iowa. So this Belmont team is one of those teams that like you get the same team every game. Like you know who's going to show up. You know they're going to execute on the offensive end. You know they're going to take care of the ball. You know they're going to score some points. I think that they're going to be able to be a smaller line. This one will probably open at 3.5, and it's going nowhere but up. Like I expect nothing but Belmont money. So if you like them, bet them early.
Fair enough. UCLA +3 at Ohio State, Craig.
Yeah, if anybody's followed me, UCLA, I actually worked alongside Mick Cronin when we were both working Bob Huggins basketball camps and I was playing college basketball, and that's how I put myself through college in the summer was for 5 years was working for Coach Huggins. And Mick Cronin was there, and all of a sudden he was the I don't know, whatever you call that last coach back then. It was called something. It's called something different. It was like the coaching coordinator. They ran the camps. He was a prick. We all hated him. So it's always how. And then when he came to UC, I never really liked him because he wasn't Bob Huggins, and it's like he got you to the promised land. He got you to the promised land if you consider the promised land the tournament. But then he couldn't do shit in the tournament. And to me, I think he's done better than I thought at UCLA. But he's just not that great a team this year. And I think Ohio State is better than the records. I mean, they looked like they were going to beat Nebraska. It didn't happen. Then they go beat Oregon. And then I think, oh, here they go. They're going to play better. Then they lose at Washington. Didn't really play pretty well. I think they play better at home. 7-2 at home. I'm going to take Ohio State minus a small number. But it is kind of a homecoming for Mick Cronin since he's from Cincinnati. So that would be the one positive, I think, for them.
Heading to the Mountain West, New Mexico +4.5 at San Diego State. Thoughts, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot like Friday's game between Colorado State and Boise State. You just always give the home team the benefit of the doubt in the Mountain West, right? Especially San Diego State. Very, very difficult place to play. That being said, the road team has actually won outright in 3 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Eric Olin has done a really good job. He was at UC San Diego the last 2 years. Now he's at New Mexico, taking over for Dicky Pitino. He's got the team rolling. They've won 13 of their last 14 games. Tough to bet against there. I'll say this. I don't love either side. I defer to the home team of San Diego State, but I'll give you some advice. If you like New Mexico, take them on the money line. The favorite is 7-4 against the spread in the last 11 meetings between these two teams. But the 4 times that the underdog is covered, they've won outright. So you're going to be getting some really good plus money value. So for me, it's either lay the points, take the home team, or if you like New Mexico, go ahead and sprinkle a little on the money line.
I like that.
Fair enough. Notre Dame +5.5 at Virginia Tech. Craig Trapp.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the what-if season for Notre Dame. The Burton kid, like if he didn't go down, I really think this team would have been a feisty 4th, 5th, like the middle of the pack. I think now they're still feisty team. I mean, like that Cal game. I mean, I don't know how you lose that game. They were up the entire last 3 minutes, and you've just foul at half court, people, and you don't have to worry about it. But either way, they did cover that game. I guess that'd be the positive. But this is a team that is decent against the spread, 7-3 in the last 10 games. That's both of these teams. I'm going to lean towards Virginia Tech here, though. At home, they're 10-1. They had that big win, I believe, was it against Virginia, right? Like 4 or 5 back. Obviously, rivalry games, you kind of say, like you kind of throw the records out the window, but that's a pretty good Virginia team. I did not see that coming about Virginia. So let's take Virginia Tech minus the number here. I just wish the Irish if you hadn't seen that Burton kid play, the dude would have made a monster difference on this team.
Arkansas State plus 5.5 at Troy, Robert.
All right. These two teams just played 9 days ago, and Arkansas State won by 12 at home. I actually really like Troy in this spot. Troy is a team that I don't want to say they haven't played up to expectations, but like they look like a team that's a ball rolling downhill. Now that they're in Sun Belt play, I think Troy is the best team in this conference, honestly. Okay. Early on in the season, they went to San Diego State, beat San Diego State. They should have beaten USC on the road, back-to-back games. Like, they have played well against good teams. They've won, I think it is 8 out of 9. They're playing with revenge here. This is a contrast in styles where Arkansas State, they want to get up and down the court. They want to score, where Troy is a Scott Cross team where they play more of their bench. They grind on defense a little bit. I'm a big believer in college basketball that the home team sets the tempo. So I think Troy's going to get the tempo that they want. I think they're going to get revenge for that loss at Arkansas State. So I would lay the points there.
Montana State. Montana's getting 4.5, Craig. It's the battle of the century in Montana. Talk to me about it.
I mean, our guy in our office, his name's Guy, if you ever call. He's a big Montana guy. So did he like call this one in and say, hey, we want to know what Craig thinks? Is that what happened here?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, these two teams are pretty freaking similar. Same records. I mean, they're basically 500 straight up and against the spread basically the last 10 games. I mean, there's not a whole lot separating them. Obviously, a rivalry game. I'm thinking it's a grind-out game, and I'm thinking the under in this game. I just think I think rivalry games, I think like the first 4 minutes of games is like if you get 2 baskets, you're lucky because it's just like, there's just so much emotion. You're so jacked up. And people are like, oh, it's Montana State. Dude, every school has a rival. Every school gets up to play somebody, and this is the rival. So I would take the under in this matchup. I think it could be a really fun game to watch.
There you go.
Real quick. Montana has a kid, Money Williams, their lead guard. He's a lot of fun. He's a good player to watch, and he's got an awesome name. Yeah,
Money.
There you go.
You got to get him into the tournament.
You got to get him into the tournament. Richmond plus 13.5 at St. Louis, Robert.
Big spread. Because St. Louis is so good at home and because they've just been absolutely trucking people when they win, they usually win big. But this actually should be a pretty intriguing game. Like Richmond, Chris Mooney came into the year, their head coach. He was a guy who was definitely on the hot seat. Richmond's had some really good teams over the last 10 or 12 years. But Mooney is one of those guys who ran the traditional Princeton offense for a long time. Now that doesn't really work in college basketball the same way that it used to. He has adapted, and he has his team playing pretty well. They've been kind of a feisty little underdog. They've covered 3 straight in this series. I actually think that they're going to be able to hang around with St. Louis. St. Louis is either going to win by 25 or this is going to be like a 6 or 7 point game. Just the way college basketball has been going the last few weeks. If you are a moderately competent underdog, it seems like they're covering the spread. So I'm inclined to take the points. Also with St. Louis, if you haven't watched them play, Robbie Avila is worth the price of admission. He's a big man who does a little bit of everything for them. He's one who's worth watching.
I like that. Last one for us here. Buffalo plus 10.5 at Miami, Ohio. I mean, this is for VIP chat member too, by the way. Scott's always asking about Miami, Ohio. So finish it. This was no correlated thing here. Finish this off with some MAC action, Craig.
All right. So first and foremost, 18-0. Miami. It's like it's a big story. They're still not ranked, and they're as a Cincinnati Bearcat fan, and this is kind of our other rival other than Xavier. They're like throwing shots at Cincinnati, like we're the best team in state, and like it's like why they're not. I mean, they're playing great basketball. If you've watched them play, the movement off the ball and the fun they're having is just contagious. And when you're winning, that's going to maintain. I'm always like, okay, when's it going to end? I just don't think it ends here. I think you take Miami plus the point or minus the points. They're just playing unbelievable basketball. If this game was later in the day, maybe I would give Buffalo a better chance. But early in the day, Buffalo is not close to Miami, by the way. This is like 4 or 5 hours. They probably bus rode it, though, because it's like time you fly and Miami is an hour and 20 minutes from Cincinnati Airport. It's like, dude, you could bus it that fast. Anyway, I would take Miami minus the points. Going to be a fun end of the year if Miami can keep this run going, like, because it makes the MAC relevant. Like every time someone plays Miami, it's like, can they keep it going?
Love to see it. Don't forget, there you go. There's 10 underrated college basketball plays for Saturday, January 17th from Robert Faringo and Craig Trapp. I'm Detroit Lenny. We appreciate everybody watching. Hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment in this video if you have something that you like, you follow, fade, what you like, side, total, proper, otherwise. Drop it in the comment section. Don't forget, use that free $60 account, DocSports.com/free60. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Good luck unless you're against us.